Mercenary Enrollment Chapter 164, Heart-Wrenching Death of the Chief. Release date, spoilers, and recap. We all felt pretty emotional reading the previous chapter with the chief passing away and Aijin reacting to the situation quite emotionally. So far, Aijin had never really reacted to any situation with much visible emotions, so it was nice to see his sensitive and humane side for the first time now. Chief was pretty much like a father or guardian figure to him back when he lost his memories and became an orphan. Obviously, Aijin's attachment to the chief can't be described easily, but it is understandable why he felt so gutted. We will see what will follow his death in Mercenary Enrollment Chapter 164. So far in the series, Aijin's supposedly peaceful life has not been all that peaceful. He got involved in a number of dangerous situations where he had to utilize all his skills to make it out alive. We are happy that Aijin's life has gained some sense of normalcy that he had been missing so far and some peaceful time with his family. Such an emotionally charged chapter was refreshing since the story is filled with chaos and action most of the time. It was even better that Aijin finally realized his emotions and acted on it. It was the first time we had seen Aijin cry that way since the start of the series. Mercenary Enrollment is an action drama, Manhwa, about a normal kid who gets caught up in a plane crash and becomes a mercenary in a foreign land. At the beginning of the series, we see he regains his memories and goes to his birthplace to meet his remaining family. The series is not all that serene since now the MC has to deal with school delinquents and criminals. We also see that the ghosts of his past life as a mercenary appear time and time again. In this article, we will be talking about the release date of Mercenary Enrollment Chapter 164, recap the previous chapter, and tell our readers where they can read the manhwa. Recap. In the previous chapter of Mercenary Enrollment, we see that Aijin was a bit disturbed because of the news he had gotten about the chief. There, we see a flashback about a young Aijin and that old guy right about the time he had saved Aijin. The old guy looked a bit rough, but he looked after Aijin with the utmost care. The readers got a little emotional looking at Aijin and Chief interact because Aijin had no idea about who he was, and the old guy also looked distressed about it. When Aijin said he didn't have a home to go back to and he didn't recall anything, the old guy told him to leave the moment he did remember. It wasn't long before Aijin registered himself as a mercenary because, obviously, he had decent skills, but also that the village needed protection. Chief absolutely hated that idea because there was no doubt about the dangers of that job. Even so, Aijin, with his stubborn personality, was not convinced, and he did whatever he wanted to. The chief was always nagging Aijin, and it almost looked like he was playing the role of the father. The flashback ended when Aijin woke up to a phone call that informed him about the chief's death as well as the last words that he had left behind for him. Aijin was pretty disturbed, but that guy was not the most expressive, to begin with. He pretended to be fine when his sister asked him about it, but of course, his heart was in turmoil. After the meal, his grandpa asks him to come on a walk with him, and he asks Aijin if anything is disturbing him. It seems like both his sister and grandpa are pretty perceptive about him, even if he maintains a poker face. Aijin talks about the chief and the way he cared for him, and his grandpa tells him that it is okay if he cries. Aijin begins to cry and hugs his grandpa as he remembers the words Chief had left for him. Release date. Mercenary Enrollment Chapter 164 will be released on Saturday, November 25, 2023, at 12 a.m. Korea Standard Time.